Hi YouTube! In this video I want to show you the iOcean X8 Mini. I ordered it from merimobiles.com. It was delivered from their European warehouse and it got here in one day. When you order it, it comes in a white box like this one with some specs on the back. Comes with a 5-volt USB wall charger, a micro USB data and charging cable. It comes with a screen protector, some sort of warranty card. Comes with an English and Chinese instruction manual, and last but not least it also comes with a SIM tray opener. This phone has a 5-inch capacitive 5-point multi-touch screen with a 720 by 1280 HD pixel resolution. It is an IPS display, it looks like a one glass solution and it's supposed to have a Gorilla Glass. It has the MT6582 Quad-Core CPU inside, which is clocked at 1.3 GHz. It has 1 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal memory. It runs on Android 4.4.2 KitKat. It is a Quadband, it is totally unlocked, and of course it also supports 3G. It has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, a GPS, a G sensor, a proximity sensor, a light sensor. It even has a gyroscope sensor, a magnetic field sensor, and it also has a notification LED. It supports USB on the go. It also supports OTA, meaning firmware updates over the air, and it also has some off-screen gestures, including some smart wake functions. It has two cameras, one main camera with a 13 megapixel output, probably 8 megapixels are real, autofocus, an LED flash, and it's a f2.2, and one front-facing camera with a 5 megapixel output, probably 2 megapixels are real, with f2.8. And of course this phone is a dual SIM, dual standby phone. It takes one micro SIM card and one nano SIM card. Let's take a closer look at the device. You have your front facing camera right here, proximity and light sensor right there, and blinking away is the notification LED. The home, back and menu buttons are soft touch buttons, but they do not light up. On the bottom we have a micro USB port and a microphone. On the left side we have a SIM tray slot that takes two SIM cards. On the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right side we have a volume rocker and a power button, and on the back you have your main camera, your LED flash, and some speakers right here. Some thoughts about this device. I really like the design. It is thin, it is black, 5-inch is my favorite screen format. I really like it. The build quality is good. Well, actually it is very good, but there are two things I don't like about it. Number one, if something looks like metal, it should be metal, and this frame is actually plastic. And number two, the back cover is a fingerprint magnet. The display is very good. Of course it is not as good as a full HD display, but it's still very good. It has great viewing angles, colors, contrast, brightness. I really like it. The Wi-Fi reception is also very good. The GPS reception I would rate as good. It is definitely above average. The GSM reception I would rate as normal, nothing to complain about. I like the fact that this phone has a lot of sensors. For example, a gyroscope sensor is something you don't see every day in a price range like this. And I also like that this phone has a notification LED. It could have been brighter, and so far I've only seen red and green. The main camera takes nice pictures. Of course they're not as good as some high-end phone pictures, but I still think they're very decent. Some cons, well, the obvious of course, this phone has no memory card extension and it has a built-in battery. I'm also not a big fan of nano SIM card, and I also don't like the fact that the soft touch buttons do not light up. The LED flash is also a joke, just like on most of the phones I've tested. Bottom line, I really like this phone. It's not perfect, it will not replace my Xiaomi Mi 4, but I think it's a very sweet deal for this kind of money. Like always, I installed additional apps and games for demonstration purposes. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to find out more about this phone, please stay tuned. The stock launcher looks nice, and it also has two dedicated pages, one for the music player. Let me see if I can get this started for you. There you can see it. It also has a designated page for the camera, where you can start a slideshow if you'd like to, or just start the camera. And the stock launcher also supports different themes. Let me show you real fast. There you have it. But let's start with some system settings. Let's go into the settings. Let's go into about the phone. There you can see it runs on Android 4.4.2, and I confirmed it. I installed the Google camera, which only runs on KitKat. Let's see, what else do we have here? I can show you the supported languages right here. Those are all the supported languages. Next up, I can show you the Smart Wake function. Now you can, for example, you can double click to wake the screen, or you can draw different symbols to start different apps. For example, I can draw an E to start the browser. There's the browser. Or, for example, I can draw an M to start the music player. There it is. I think that's a fun feature. Next up in the settings, I can show you the storage. There you have it. It has the internal storage, it has the phone storage, and here's a little surprise. It also has the option to mount an SD card. So maybe this phone has a SD card slot hidden somewhere inside. I have no idea. Anything else in the settings? Probably not. Let me go into the engineer mode for you. There I can show you the supported frequencies. And as you can see, it is a Quadband, and here's a little surprise. It looks like it supports more 3G frequencies than advertised. I can also show you in the engineer mode that it supports AGPS. There you have it. You can turn AGPS on and off. Next up, let's test some Google apps. It comes with the Play Store pre-installed, and it's working perfectly, no problem at all. Let's test YouTube. Let me turn down the volume for that. Let's just start a random video. You can change the screen position, and of course we can also watch in full screen. And I don't know if you can see this, but it really runs very smoothly and lag free, so there's no problem on this phone with the YouTube app. Let's test Google Maps. Google Maps working fine. Let me zoom. It has my location right here. Let's test the Street View feature. I hope it's covered. It is. Street View also no problem at all. I can zoom, and I can also test the compass mode. As you can see, the compass mode is working fine. So the gyroscope sensor is supported, and also it has a magnetic field sensor. Next up, we can test Adobe Reader to see how well this phone handles large documents. It loads pretty fast. It scrolls pretty fast. Zooming is not a problem, and it also rotates very fast. Very well done, as to be expected from the CPU. Let's test the gallery. Let me just go into a wallpaper folder and see how fast it loads. It is fast. Zooming, not a problem. And while we're here, I can test a video. This is my standard video. It is a 1080p video in a MKV format. Let's take a look at it in full screen. Colors look great, also fantastic viewing angles. What can we do next? Let's do some benchmark tests, and let me clear the memory first to be a little fair. Let's kick all the apps that are running. Now let's start with Antutu. Antutu scores at 17,639 points, which is a good which is a good result. Let's check out some of the system infos right here. As you can see, it is the MT6582 Quad-Core CPU, full in HD resolution. Let's see what kind of sensors are supported. There you have all the supported sensors. No, I don't want to install anything. We can also test the sensors with this little app. Let's test the accelerometer. It's working great. Sorry, I already exited. Let's test the light sensor. It's too dark right here, but it's working. I can show you. Let's test the orientation sensor. Also working well. Proximity sensor. Also working well. The gyroscope sensor, now this is hard to see, but I also installed the later. The microphone is also working fine, and the magnetic field sensor again. But what I wanted to say is I installed the gyroscope 3D live wallpaper, and this live wallpaper only works if the phone has a working gyroscope sensor. And also, if I start the Google camera, you can see that photosphere is supported, and this also only works if a gyroscope sensor is present. But I was talking about benchmarks, wasn't I? So let's start Quadron Standard and give it a run. And of course this is boring, so I'm gonna do a jump cut. Almost done. And it scores at 7,054 points. And let's do one more benchmark to test the GPU. Let's do a Nina Mark II benchmark, and again I'm gonna do a jump cut, and it scores at 55.4 frames. Let's get out of there. Let's test the browser real fast. Let me just open a bookmark. Now this is CNN. It's loading fast. Rotation speed is good. But let's load the desktop side to see if this phone can handle larger websites as well. Also loading fast, zooming no problem. Next up, let's test the camera real fast. Let me go into the camera. Let me just take a very quick picture here. Now this camera has some fun features as well. For example, you can trigger the camera with a voice command. You can say cheese or capture. Let's give it a try. Cheese! And it took a picture. And this camera also, let me turn that off again. It also has a smile detection. Let's just turn it on and wait for it. I don't know if you can hear that.
Face not detected.
Face not detected. Now let's check out the photo that I just took. It looks very detailed. Let me show you some details. As you can see, this is a 13 megapixel output and a f2.2. Let's see if I have a picture from the front-facing camera somewhere. There it is, that is me. Let's go into the details, and as you can see, this is a 5 megapixel output and a f2.8. And last but not least, let's test the USB on the go. Let me just hook up my thumb drive. Let's wait for it to mount. It mounted. Let me go into the file manager. And it says folder empty. There you have it, the external storage. Let's just load a picture. There it is. USB on the go is working. And last but not least, I'm going to show you the viewing angles of this device, and I'm going to do a little gaming. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.